In 1722, the most powerful man in the world died in his bedroom near Beijing, China. He had been the ruler, the emperor, for 61 years, longer than almost any king in history. He had 24 grown sons, and when he died, nobody knew which son was supposed to take over. What happened next tore his family apart for 10 years. Historians are still arguing about who really won 300 years later. This was the Kangxi Emperor. If you've ever watched a Chinese palace drama on TV, people scheming, brothers turning against each other, you've seen a made-up version of this real story. Kangxi did something smart early. He picked his successor while still young. His son, Yinreng, was made the official next emperor at just 2 years old. Problem solved, right? Except Kangxi then just kept living. For decades. He ruled 61 years total, meaning his future emperor son spent over 30 years waiting for a throne that never opened up. Imagine that. Raised from babyhood, believing you'll rule an empire, watching your father stay healthy and fully in charge for 30 more years. What would that do to anyone? By his 30s, Yinreng had become a mess. Heavy drinking, cruelty towards servants, even spying on his own father. In 1708, Kangxi did something shocking. He removed his own son from the position of heir. Suddenly, the throne was up for grabs. 9 of Kangxi's sons jumped at the chance. Historians call this fight the War of the 9 Princes. The brothers spied on each other. One even hired fortune tellers to perform dark rituals, trying to curse his rivals out of the running. The early favorite was the 8th son, Yin-si. Smart, well-liked, with real support from government officials. He should have won. But here's the twist. Being that popular became his downfall. When Kangxi asked his officials who they wanted as the next ruler, most picked Yin-si. Instead of feeling reassured, Kangxi got nervous. A son with that much independent support looked less like a future emperor and more like a threat. So, Yin-si was marked as dangerous, punished for simply being good at his job. Meanwhile, the 4th son, Yin-zhen, did almost nothing. No scheming, no alliances, no drama, just quiet, steady work managing government affairs. Historians still debate whether this was real disinterest or the smartest move of the whole fight. While his brothers kept giving their father reasons not to trust them, Yin-zhen gave him none. Here's what we know for sure. The night Kangxi died, only 7 sons were called to his bedside. Yin-si wasn't one of them. Neither was the 14th son, Yin-ti, who some believe was Kangxi's true favorite, and who happened to be leading troops hundreds of miles away at that exact moment. The throne went to Yin-zhen, the quiet one, who announced his father had named him heir on his deathbed, with a written will appearing shortly after. The rumors started instantly. Why wasn't the will shown publicly until after the emperor died? One popular legend claims someone secretly changed a single word in the will, switching the named heir from the 14th son to the 4th. Historians have mostly proven this false, but people never fully stopped suspecting something was wrong. Yin-zhen became the new ruler, known as the Yongzheng Emperor, and being the most popular brother turned into a death sentence. Within 4 years, Yin-si lost his title completely, was forced to rename himself a word meaning pig, and died under house arrest. Yin-ti was locked away for over 10 years. Allies of the losing brothers were executed. Yongzheng wiped out every rival group with the same quiet, careful approach he'd used to win the throne. He ruled 13 years, and historians call it one of the most effective reigns in Chinese history. He fixed the tax system, fought corruption, and worked harder than almost any ruler before or after him. But he never escaped the rumors that he'd stolen the throne, so much so that he eventually wrote an entire document just to defend himself. He also made one lasting change. Future emperors would be chosen in a secret, sealed letter, opened only after death. so no son could ever again build support around a known target. So who really won that night in 1722? Officially, history says Yongzheng was the rightful choice. But every safety measure he built, every rumor he felt forced to deny, every brother he wiped out, tells its own quiet story. Maybe he really was his father's true choice. Or maybe he simply understood something his brothers never figured out. In a fight for an empire, the winner isn't always the favorite. Sometimes it's just whoever is still standing at the end. You've seen this story before, dressed up as fiction in TV dramas. This is what was actually hiding underneath it. Subscribe for more true stories hidden behind the history we think we already know.